Hello, everybody, and welcome to another late night.
Uh,
To another late night at the Toonkind TV show. It's me, Jade, your host slash Mega Marine, and with me I have a wonderful guest, truly a pioneer in their field. Um, please, if you would so introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Lizzie Butt, also known as Liz, and I was kidnapped today.
Uh, authorities, you can ignore that comment. There has been no kidnapping of the sorts.
Yeah, there has been no kidnapping. It was just a mutual.
You are not being held. You're not being held at gunpoint. Isn't that right?
Yeah, of course, to put down the splatter shot. We are here to play. Oh, great! Now this has already happened. Excuse me. Is my Jay say something?
Hello. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's strange. Okay. Yeah, everything's okay. It's just I'm having technical difficulties. This is going great.
That's perfectly fine.
Editor, edit that out.
Yeah, editor.
Anyway,
get that out of there.
Hey, do you want to do the real intro? Or should I do the real intro?
Yeah, what do you mean the real intro? That's the real intro. We did it.
Okay, I'm gonna do the real intro now. Hi, welcome to a Toonkind FES. I am going to be your host for today, Liz, and today I am joined by my very lovely partner. Please introduce yourself, partner.
I'm gonna fucking pull the trigger.
Fuck you. As you can hear, that was the very lovely voice of Jade.
Slash Mega Marine.
Slash Mega Marine. And today we are going to be playing in Wizard Spell Exchange. Set in the wonderful town of Villestown. We are going to be taking a little sneak peek into two wizards crossing their paths. To set the scene before we start introducing our characters, please imagine the very busy and vibrant and stylish streets of Villestown, specifically what you would consider Main Street, as across the buildings that line this place, we settle on a library. A very, those kind of libraries that you see in those big cities that have like sort of biggish pillars. Very is one of the crowning jewels of libraries that you will find in the sort of like center spots of cities.
The one near my place, actually, the one in downtown, has a fucking brutalist art style, like architecture.
Oh, okay.
It's hell. I love looking at it because it's hell.
Interesting. I mean, there's a few brutalist buildings in like central London, but I'm more thinking of like, I don't know. I'm thinking of the library Matilda kind of vibe.
Yeah,
if you've
seen I get you.
Yeah, the live action Matilda. And the front of this building seems to be entered by a few scholarly, some scholarly, some a little rough around the edges, but those with a pulse to the ground would kind of peg them as the magical cast of sorts. As for today is the day for the quarterly Wizard Spell Exchange that happens at this library. Would
you like to say whose library this is?
I mean, it's the library. It's the library. Okay. When you talk about, oh, I'm going to the library with an inflection, that is usually the big library that you see here. And I think this library is kind of noticed because one of the key staff members that you'll see like manning the desks or sometimes restocking the shelves is a star-headed toon person with one eye, like a sort of tealish green color. And they're busy just working away at the desk.
Just imagine me in the background, arms raised up in yeah.
Cheering.
cheering.
Yes.
That's it. Sorry for all the interruptions.
It's fine, no. But while you're here, while you're speaking, do you have a visual for how your wizard enters this building?
Uh, Phineas enters it and makes reaches the very bottom of because I'm imagining like a set of steps that go into the actual main entrance before going in there. And as he reaches like the top of the steps, he reaches into his trench coat and pulls out like a crumpled piece of paper and holds it up to the library, matching the look of it compared to this, which with how it's drawn, it looks literally exactly like how it is because it's
just one for one.
Yeah, it's one for one. There's well, this is the place, and he crumples the paper back up, tucks it into his trench coat, and goes in. And you see Scrunkily climbing out of his trench coat, back in normal ferret form, and settles around his neck. And he takes a step inside.
Nice. Again, similarly to the how I described the touching of the Matilda sort of a film, how it depicts that library, big, like decently big, very stylized in the way that most UK stuff is, but it's not that extreme. I'm pretty sure it has several floors to it, just to give you that sort of vibe. And you can't really see the back of it because it's sort of like divided into the separate wings and there's bookshelves in the ways. But it's a pretty nice library. I will sort of hurry through this sort of section because it's gonna be the sort of do you think it's the you have a table that's assigned to you?
I like
or do you think it's more of a networking?
I'd like to imagine that it's like the kind of thing where you show up, you say what you're here for, and they'll point you towards a clipboard where you can write your name in, and they'll put you on table to finish. They'll just randomly assign a partner,
okay,
to you.
Okay, the chances we get images
wizards,
of that.
The chances of two wizards having the exact same spell list is so astronomically low that I feel like.
I think at the very least, I mean, it's a coin toss because to speak mechanically, there is a thing where if you put down spells that are of your school of magic, it would be quicker because that school of magic. So it's a coin toss between, do you pair people up who have the same school of magic, or do you pair people up who have different schools of magic to give a variety of spells? And I guess that's just up to whoever's administrating this event, and maybe it's a 50-50. It depends on how many school of magic users are registered. The background things that you can chew on.
It also definitely complicates things that not every single class study of wizardry has studies into specific schools of magic, like graviturgy and chronomancy. Don't have specific schools of magic that they are specifically good at, in a sense. So they don't get that benefit of being able to copy spells quicker. Same thing for Phineas, technically.
Yeah. Yes. That makes sense. But yeah, so that process goes by, and you are thus given the sort of number that your table is. And so as this bright orange, tall, Toonkind half-elf trench coat wearing with a blue sash and some particular boots, makes his way to the table, you are met with a tune. UPAN, completely blue. Has a lot of coarse shapes that are has a lot of core repeating shapes. What you can point out is that she seems to be wearing some sort of hat with a pointed top, like a witch's hat, but the head is sort of curvy and bouncy, almost like a cloud. And that same shape is repeated for her body that makes up a sort of dress. But the sort of line art that depicts the rest of her humanoid body draws her into a trench coat. The rim of the hat sort of wraps around the head, covering her eyes. And she had a very simple sort of face, very stoic looking. Let me drop an image of my wizard here for
Oh, I
you
guess yeah.
to see. If
I'll also grab.
yeah,
Oh fuck! I have to fucking go find one. Hold on a moment.
go hunt, search.
I know that it's
There
here.
she
It's here
is.
somewhere. Hold on. Oh god, I'm gonna have to fucking scroll through so many fucking images.
Oh,
I'm trying to find the picture of Phineas that you drew.
I can go
That I
grab.
commissioned. Yeah, can you grab it real quickly? Because I know you commissioned it.
Yeah, I can grab that real quick. I can grab that real quick. There's
Oh
no
no, I found it. Never
problem.
mind. I
There we
found it. I found it.
go.
I found it. I found it.
Never mind.
You got it. We chillin'. There we go.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. You know, Finn. You get to describe Bo very cleanly. This the gentleman that's sitting at the table already is very gruffed, uh, somewhat dirty, um, in that sense of like he probably hasn't cleaned that trench coat in a while. It's got dirt on it. Um, Everything else, like his mustache and his goatee, are well maintained at the very least, and his hair seems like clean at least. So apart from his clothes, everything else seems all right. But it's just a real kind man, half elf specifically, with a toonish ferret around his neck.
Oh, I fucked up. But
What?
that's not anything. I thought Skunkly was real kind.
No,
Anyway, that's not here there.
no,
That's
you're
why I
so
drew
fine.
Skunkly like that.
No, Scrunky looks fucking perfect. I like to imagine that he does, he's toonish, but you know, he looks like it's fine.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine.
Okay. Anyway, out of the way.
Yeah.
Bo will just like reach a hand as she also takes a seat with on the other side of the table with Phineas.
Mm-hmm. Phineas will shake the hand and say, Phineas Hawthorne.
Deputy, but you can call me Dep.
You see the moment that you say deputy, Phineas gets a little nervous.
No. It's just just a name. Don't worry about it.
Got it. Okay, sorry. This is actually I haven't been in Billstown very long. Is this is this thing like is this a normal thing that they do often?
Not this event.
Yes.
Kind of. I haven't really kept it on a on my profile for a while, but I think I attended one last season. It was alright.
Huh.
Helpful.
This just is interesting to me. Most wizards that I found, I'm guessing you're a wizard too. I don't. I'm guessing everybody here is a wizard, right? I guess most of us.
Mostly, yeah.
Right. So most wizards that I've met outside of Anquil have been very reserved, for lack of a better term. So it's kind of a breath of fresh air to find some folks willing to trade.
Mm. Now I'm pretty sure there's some fair share of people who wouldn't want to share their spells. There's some people who keep a pretty tight lid on their books here, from what I've seen. But yeah, this is good. It's nice to see something like this sort of community focused.
Right. Um. Well, we are here for a trade. So, and Phineas reaches into his trench coat, um, and begins pulling out his spell book, which you do see is this real kind leather with like gold lining around the edges, with Tunish paper on the inside. Um, uh, and he says, "I am a bit of an unorthodox in terms of wizardry." Um, so I hope it'll be okay. If you have any questions about uh, anything, really, what do you focus on, if you don't mind me asking?
Mm. Uh, abjuration? Yeah, abjuration. I always get this. How you say that? Muddled up.
Right. Which one's that one?
The,
I
the
always
defense one.
forget.
I was going to ask this Phineas though, but I think Phineas knows. I can't. I'm not gonna put that on
Phineas
him.
knows.
Yeah, yeah. It's shield.
Major
It's
mage armor
mage
shield.
armor.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
counter spell. It's the spell magic. Yeah,
Okay, it's a defensive one. Um,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, mostly defensive magic. That's actually I've been meaning to add a lot of that into my repertoire. Um, well, uh, good to know. And Phineas will begin flipping through his spellbook, like seeing what might interest you. Um, hmm,
Uh, yeah. We'll but we'll like just take a second and just let him just flick through. She didn't want to like. She was also gonna reach for her spell book. But it's just letting him do that first, I guess.
they okay. And Phineas like pauses and looks through his spell as he's looking through his spell book and just says, "You know what? How about you just look through and see if you find anything that you prefer." Um, I have made some spells of my own um, that I think are quite a little bit interesting, but they might be a little harder to grasp. Actually, well, you're a tune. You might actually have a simpler time grasping it than I did.
Yeah, just, I'll see.
And
There's a lot of
Phineas will move the book over, and I will give you his first and second level spells.
nice.
Here you go.
You know, not many not many of these guys are so willing to hand over their books. Just as a heads up, I guess. But she's saying this as she like flicks through the spellbook. She seems interested in like the paper itself and like how it's made. But she's being careful as she like sort of tries to decipher what's what.
Yes, I am aware. As he looks at a different table where somebody's trying, like, almost reaches over for a book, and then they just get their hands slapped out of the air.
Like with a mage hand.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
okay. Okay.
consider me unorthodox.
Mm.
I
Um,
My mentor was always very loosey goosey with the way that he taught me. So
like head sort of nods up, like Pete's by that.
he he wasn't the ringleader. What are they called? He was the illusionist for a circus troupe. So, uh, kind of a kind of a big thing when you're part of a circus. I guess it's kind of this is also me saying I was in a circus technically for a while. So.
Mm. I didn't know they. Well, actually, I can't say anything. I haven't been to many circuses myself, so I don't know what kind of acts they have there.
Really? Never been to a circus? Not once.
Probably when I was a kid, but I don't know. It was just guys and stuff.
Well, if you want to see a small act, and Phineas will take like a couple of balls and do a cast mage hand and do a little three-handed juggle.
Yeah, that's fun.
Did you pick up a couple of neat
Is that
tricks?
yeah? Is that while the crowds at home or
Repeat that.
did it while the crowds at home or
Did they wow the crowds at home? If I'm guessing you said.
yeah.
Okay. Uh, yeah, for the most part. Um, I mean, we traveled, so
Hmm. Different tastes across the places or stuff. I'm sorry, it's never been outside Inkwell.
I mean, a couple of places are pretty nice, but it's kind of dreadful compared to most of the places I visited here in Anquil.
I've heard. Um, can I think Bo is trying to piece together what the spells do before she asks.
Yeah.
So specifically, Phineas's sort of like tune spells that are here on the first level.
Yeah. They're not actually observation, by the way. They're different schools of magic. I just forgot to change them
Yes.
for the
No,
thing.
that's fine.
Um, I mean, you could just roll Arcana if you were trying to specifically.
Yeah.
You're trying to. It's a first level. You're trying to read somebody else's notation. So this would be 10 plus a spells level plus what else? What was it?
What for spell scroll stuff?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
for
would think so.
notation.
Just learning. I'm just trying to like. It's if you wanted to set a DC, just roll and I'll
Yeah.
tell you how much you get.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
rolling Arcana.
Oh, damn, that's an 18.
That is an 18. Which spell in particular are you looking for? Are you looking at?
She would probably look at What's Up, Doc, I think, honestly.
So that spell specifically is a transmutation spell. If I remember correctly, that gives you a digging speed.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what you're able to read, it does function based on like the idea of tunes and like doing the trope of like uh, kind of like getting away by digging into the ground.
Yeah.
Uh, like pulling from a lot of bunny tunes and stuff like that, and pulling at that magic and applying it to yourself. It's a self. It's a I believe it's self. Yeah, it is a self cast spell. So requiring one semantic and one material component.
Oh, it's just. Oh, on here it says
Verbal and material.
Okay. That's strange. So yeah, as she's like listening, and there's like a beat, she just goes like, I would have expected this one to have some sort of somatic, as she like waves her fingers as she says that aspect to it.
You think so? When I was originally creating it, uh, I tried variations on different on the sentencings, and it only seemed to work with those specific um, wordings, in a sense. I'm not sure what exactly it is that pulled uh, that allowed it to function finally, but it does. And believe me, you don't want to see what the experimentation ended with. I had a bunny tail for about a week.
Mm. Oh yeah, you really leaning on that gimmick. Interesting.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm sure there are other creatures and aspects, I guess, that you could pull on. I guess it also makes sense if you want to pull on the idea of a rabbit, but I guess it makes it more focused. Sorry if I'm like not. I didn't really have any idea on. I've never entertained the idea of making a spell myself, so if I'm speaking out my ass, I'm sorry.
No, no. Honestly, I just the main reason why that one is like that is because we had a bunny tune in our circus troupe, and I drew influence. Honestly, if I was redoing the spell
Huh.
again, I'd probably pick literally any other creature.
I mean, it works. Well, assuming it's in your spell book and you're offering it to me, so
It does work.
well,
I can
potentially.
promise. I can promise that. Making your own spell, especially when you're young, as I was, is definitely a dangerous process. So I'm surprised. I'm not surprised a lot of wizards don't choose to do so. It's simpler to just go with what you know.
Hmm. Reliability
Or I guess
is what's already done. Yeah.
it's simpler to pull at the threads that have already been woven. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, this, sorry, let me just get to the end of this and then I'll circle back around. And she's just like starts flipping through to the rest of like the, going to second level and stuff.
Have you been living in Villestown for a while?
Oh, well, yeah. I know this town pretty well.
Oh, thank goodness. I've been meaning to ask somebody who can actually point me towards anything of interest here. I've been to a couple of places already. Marketplace, a couple of museums. There's a new saloon that just opened up that my friend runs, which is one of the reasons I'm here. And I know this place called the Painted Lady, but um, I haven't yet to bid. I have yet to go. I have words that I can say out loud. This is me, Jay, speaking IRL.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. We all have a blue. Um, hmm, let me do something here. Uh, what's your, what does this be? Passive, either keep your passive insight or passive perception in check,
They're both
or
active.
in your sort of.
They are both
Nice.
10.
No.
My boy does
Let me
not
roll
have
this.
good, like, anything for reading people.
GG's. I've heard a pretty good word about that place. Paint Lady. Anything else of interest here? Museum, library. The park is pretty good. It has some neat sculptures, pretty mean mazes, some good gardens. What else? There's a waterfront nearby. That's pretty good. There's a if you're needing to do more spell testing, there's a place that hosts other casters, and they can test what they got, see if they need to make any tweaks to their own spell stuff.
Phineas gets piped up at that. That sounds interesting.
I can write you an address.
I will definitely take a read.
Yeah, she pulls out like a little piece of paper and just like scrolls it down off to the side.
I'd actually just feel free to write it in the spell book. I have, as you can see, I have lots of random notes in there. I'll find it eventually.
Mm-hmm. I guess. I mean, I didn't want to pry. I just kind of glazed over until I saw some familiar spell-like stuff.
Yeah, a lot of a lot of it is just bad jokes and some musical notation of like songs he's have written, filled with like the occasional like actual funny piece of dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and a lot of sketches actually. There's a couple of sketches of tunes in there.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Some more like nicer, others very anatomical.
I see. Yeah. Yeah. Gods. It's just. I think there are moments where she does pause on the anatomical ones. And just like, see what the notes surrounding that is like.
For one of them is like I'm just straight up like a UPA tune. There's nothing on the insides of them. Like obviously it's just like observations. The fact that like you can look at them from one side and you can't see them in a sense. Um, Others like notices of like, oh, they fold it up sometimes. There was one time where like he's taking note of somebody like separating their color and their line work. So on and so forth. Stuff that he's taken notice just happening randomly as he's traveled along. Um, Other different types of tunes, people made out of clay, other people made out of literal paper, and then he like. The weirdest thing to say is that like a piece of their cells fell and he taped it onto the book.
Interesting.
I mean, it's just like, okay, it's a paper,
Yeah.
but also like it's a person.
It's a piece of paper, like, yeah. Nice. God, what would she feel about that? I guess I haven't really thought about the sort of idea of like dropping a cell.
I mean, it's like it would be the equivalent of grabbing like just taping somebody's hair onto like a piece of book.
Yeah.
Like somebody random that some piece of hair that you found on the street.
Yeah. Yeah. And she doesn't know how to feel about that, so she's just gonna
skip past
just
it.
Continue flicking pause. Skip past that. Yeah.
It didn't occur to me how nervous Phineas and like Judge Phineas immediately feels upon having somebody else flake through his spell book.
Yeah, yeah.
It didn't occur to me that, oh, this is like this is my life's work. This is like
In somebody else's hand.
this is my life's work in somebody else's hand, and like, oh, he understands why wizards feel this way now. He's gonna
Uh
take back some words that he has to say.
huh. It's
He's
on
like,
your foot now.
we know things. We are trying to be better than those stuck up little pricks.
Hmm.
There is trust.
Hmm. Yeah, you gotta have trust. Bo will speak up and say, I appreciate these spells that you've made, and um, you know, I'm interested to hear more about them. Uh, but I will say I'm a person who has very particular tastes and utilities. So I would like to, if that's okay, copy down this spell, and she will point to the locate object spell that you have listed there.
Oh, yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. Honestly, the fact that you're kind of curious in and of itself is uh, that excited Phineas. Even if he's not having somebody else copy down his spells, that's still it. Um, yeah, no, I and Phineas will assist. Translating as much as he can of his notation into a format that will be more easily understood. It's like summarizing your notes for somebody else.
Like Spark Notes, yeah.
Yeah, Spark notesing it. Um,
Hmm.
Phineas will pull the chair to the other side to sit closer and just be like side to side as they look into
Hmm.
the spell book and begin copying down stuff. Um, this
I will
isn't.
say, I guess this is actually the point where Bo takes out her spell book. I'll just do that on this side.
Oh, okay. This is kind of interesting because it's just like the idea of um pointing at things and asking like why is this like this, and he's like, well, it just kind of works like this. It's like um Bo being like, well, it can also work like this, and then rewriting it in a notation that
Yeah,
they will understand.
yeah. Like I again, like Bo said, she is a person of very particular tastes. As you Phineas was explaining what's up, Doc, I was like reinterpreting how she pictures that spell
Hmm.
and how she would pull onto that spell. So I can see that well working with locate object. I mean, can we get like a little bit of a taste of that? Like
Oh, how would Phineas cast
um
locate object?
or like even how he explains casting locate object, like what does he pull on, I guess. I've
Um,
even Bo would probably say like, what do you tug at when you do this spell?
well, obviously, I have what the spell requires is a clear picture of whatever the object is you're looking for. Let's say, and he pulls out his wand, and probably not a good example. He pulls out a. Let me look through his inventory. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he pulls out a little. He pulls out his loot from his back and just hands it over to Scrunkly.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Scrunkly like carrying this really big ass loot and just says, "Scrunkly, go hide this." And you see the loot runs off, and you see Phineas pulls out his wand, and so obviously the spell locate object requires knowing what object you are looking for. Um, so in that sense, you are able to pick. You have to take a picture of it in your head. Um, the way that I think about it is you're drawing a picture of the object and trying to pinpoint its location through that. A little bit of divination, a little bit of, well, literally divination in of itself. And you see Phineas like closes his eyes, takes out his wand, and like draws like an almost perfectly replicated picture of his lute that he handed over in midair. Um, and you see he reaches over with his wand and clicks on a layer toggle to look at to be able to see the layer
Oh god! Oh my
in
god!
midair. Uh, and Phineas like literally there it is, and he walks over in the direction of where Scrunkly is holding the lute now, and I will say he has casted locate object.
Mm. I think Bo was a little jump scared by that, how the presentation of that spell.
Mm-hmm.
Like just a little bit of a stall, but then she's a pretty steady person already, so she just follows the head and just alright.
You're kind of linking together the image in your brain to where the actual object you were looking for is, and getting the sense of where the original is based on that.
Just like make some notes and sort of like it seems to appear into a sort of like a spider graph. Her own spellbook is similarly UPA like she is, but is way more detailed. Like there is like texture and like almost like photo texture has been used to depict it, or the way that it's been scanned in is you see the wrinkles and the curl of the paper, and it almost looks like dried, which matches the contents of it, because you can see poking out and sort of threaded through this sort of like bound book is a bunch of similarly detailed flowers. They resemble pressed flowers, and they're like littered throughout the book, and sometimes they're just there as what you would think as like decoration or collage. Sometimes they're like labeled. Sometimes you can see almost like spell circles sort of used with petals and ink sort of surrounding it. And it's kind of a similar thing of like some pages are for spells and some pages are for like notation. And sometimes you can see like every so often a worn out like postcard of a location like in a page, and that you can assume that that's where the flower came from. They're all mostly UPA. I don't think there's many of different art styles. They're all in that sort of blocky sense, but they are diverse in the different styles. And she's currently on sort of like a page, so she can sort of copy down and make her own versions of notations. She seems to be writing stuff about memory instead of like drawing and creating the image.
As he notices that on the spellbook, Phineas will quickly looking away, take something from his pockets out, and just gonna roll a little sleight of hand for something. As they're writing. Plus 2. It's a 15. What's her passive?
Oh no, I don't. Wait, hold on, let me check. Because she has proficiency. Yeah, that still beats it. Her
Beats it?
passive is 14. Yeah,
you can see that. That still beats it. Okay, so
yeah.
Phineas has done something in the. You can't see this, but Phineas has done something, and that will be revealed later. He's done it. He does it quickly.
I see. Yeah. Memory. Can I see the? Is it let me check again. Is it? Yeah, it's verbal somatic material. So she's probably just like picking up and see like, okay, what's the verbal gestures? What's the verbalization? What's the somatic gestures? And she just kind of looks over the materials and doesn't seem to pay too much mind to it.
Yeah, the main material that's required technically is a forked twig if you're looking for an arcane for a spell component, but your arcane focus can replace that, which is his wand in his case.
Does she have another thing? Oh, she could have. That's maybe later. We don't need to make any rolls for this. This is just a description. But yeah, do we test out the spell?
Yeah,
I think Bo is gonna try and test out the spell herself. Is this is not ritual, isn't it?
Here, no, okay. I will hide this dagger that I have, and take a good look at it. Phineas will hold it up, hold it between 2 fingers, spin it over, do a little trick with it, where he switches it up, throws it upward, catches it, throws it on behind him, catches it with the other hand, so on and so forth. She's showing off now, or he's showing off now. All right, I will go hide this.
Basically, just watches. Okay.
And Phineas will walk away and hide this somewhere.
I'm gonna get up the link to that thing. But it's like she takes out her wand and it's like twirling it. I'll describe it once Phineas comes back.
Mm-hmm. Phineas eventually does return.
Mm-hmm. Bo seemingly is like twirling this the same color as her core, sort of bluish like rods, and you can kind of tell it's a metallic rod because it has that stylized sort of shine through it, but the shine is just, you know, cut out parts, like see-through, transparent. Mm-hmm. There's no other there's no tapering, there's no like implied details. It's just a simple metal rods. You ready?
Hit it.
Alright. So would this just be a spell casting check, like your spell casting ability score?
I'd say that or an Arcana roll.
I want that one. I want that one.
That one.
I want that one. You said it's divination, so I wouldn't argue for advantage.
Let's say that the DC is my spellcasting ability.
Fuck, let's go! My
spellcasting DC. So
yeah, your spellcasting DC versus my active spellcasting roll, which would be a +6. So D20 plus 6. It's a 12.
That does not meet it. That's a 15.
Yeah.
My thing is DC 15.
Yeah. Okay. I guess what happens, what appears to happen is that Bo, while she's been like twirling this rod between her fingers, has been trying to like things that are coated in dust seem to raise slightly. Mm-hmm. And so places with bigger coats seem to, you know, have more of a cloud presence to them. D100.
72.
Ooh! 72.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
What happens?
She has to make a DC 13 dex saving throw.
You can casting fucking fireballs on her own self?
No. This is not the wild magic table. This is the other table that I sent.
Oh, okay.
No, that's wrong. I rolled a DC 13. Let me roll her actual.
Where is the fucking? There it is.
D20. I put in the D20 plus her dex save, which is that. Please make it. She makes it. Okay. So what she didn't expect was the sort of almost the sort of line to reverberate back, like she's trying to ping where the item is, and what it did is just sent the fucking energy back. So you see her almost like tip over in her chair, and the chair like falls to the side, but she lands basically on her feet, but knees bent.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, you alright?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh god, okay. I should do that sit down.
No. Oh. Haven't. Oh god, when's the last time I had kickback like that?
Maybe I'll do it the more rigid way. And she will actively do Arcana, which is not as great as that, but maybe this time it won't make her fucking kickback.
Yeah. It's the
question.
Yeah.
Should that use spell slot?
I don't think so. Because the spell, I mean,
okay.
Technically yes, but also no. Spell didn't go through.
Can I pitch something?
Yeah, sure.
If you use spell slots, you just roll as normal. If you're not using spell slots, you roll at disadvantage. Because you are actively wearing yourself out.
You know what? That's actually really good.
Like it's not gonna be exhaustion, but it is like it's gonna be more of a struggle.
Yeah. I like that actually. Yes.
Okay, so this time she's gonna do Arcana.
Are you using a spell slot?
Yes, I'm using a spell slot.
Okay.
So she's at 2 right now. And my Arcana is that. So I have to be at 15?
Yes.
Oh, my dick! My dick!
One.
No!
Liz, that's literally a natural one.
She's not doing it! What the fuck is that? Well...
You must succeed. Well, make his fucking spellcasting a saving throw.
Yeah.
Spellcasting ability
with my
saving throw.
spellcasting ability, bro.
And which is intelligence for you because you're a wizard.
It's not. Yeah, it's not the proficiency, so it's just yeah. Nope. That's a 12. She doesn't make it.
Not only do you not make it, you lose like. Oh my goodness! You basically like cut your connection to the Wii for like a minute or for like 6 seconds.
Yeah,
which must feel like hell because it's for a turn.
Oh, it's for a turn.
It's for a turn.
Okay, yeah.
But imagine not having that instant connection that you felt like your entire life or however long you've been casting magic for. Cut away, just like the panic.
I think she like drops her wand for like a hot second. Like he dropped something that was just suddenly hot to the touch.
Can Phineas attempt to grab it before it falls on the floor?
I mean, he can, just because she got her hands. Oh, gosh. Oh, okay. Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna roll just a dexterity check. Try to catch it. Feel free to set the DC. That's an 8. That's a 20.
Oh.
That's a dirty 20.
Yeah, you got it, basically. I was just gonna look at what the drop was.
Phineas will grab it and just say like, whoa, you alright?
Yeah. I'm good. Just give me a second.
Alright. Phineas will put the one on the table and go get some water.
Yeah. She's just like kicks the not like a big kick, but like uses her foot to set the chair that knocked over like back up, and she just takes a seat for a second.
I will say, just because I'm curious, does the one feel like metal?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Phineas makes note of that. But he
And it's
grabs
like
some more.
heavy. It's like
Yeah.
it's like a chunk.
Oh my god.
Like
Uh,
what's Phineas's strength? Like just curious.
it's a 9.
Yeah, that it like you don't expect, like you catch it and then your body like dips down a little bit. Like
Whoa.
okay, this is like a dumbbell weight, kind of like a low weight, but it's still a dumbbell kind of weight of like shit.
The idea of Bo drops the wand and it cracks on the ground, and this like, now I'm casting spells for real, like like in an anime, comes to mind.
The casting weights have come off. Now she's gonna use her spell of punch you in the face.
Spell of gun and punch. Ugh.
Haha, spell of gun. It's like it's the big iron on her hip. Let's go. And we get that water.
Yeah, Phineas go get some water and brings back 2 cups of water.
Thanks.
Okay. Couple of pointers, if I may.
Hmm.
From what I'm able to tell, you're getting a lot of spell back, or I don't really have a name for it. You're getting a lot of feedback back from the item you're trying to divine, which is natural. I'm guessing you're focusing entirely on trying to find the item and not making a connection with the item in of itself.
Tilts her head to the side, like, yeah, like, yes, you got a point, kind of thing.
Locate object doesn't tell you exactly where the item is. It just gives you a general location. So you can't be in a sense, as far as I've seen it. I can't be focused on just finding it. I have to be focused on the object itself, um, letting the weave guide me through to there, in a sense.
Okay. I think I know what you're getting at. Um, do you wanna? You want me to try to get a hand on it first, or do you wanna pick out a spell from my book first?
I'd love to take a look if you'd let me.
I'd
You can also just tell
prefer
me
if
what
you
you
just
want.
go on a tour.
Wait, repeat that.
I'd prefer if I walked you through the book myself.
Oh,
There's
that's
a lot
fine.
of yeah, intimate stuff. And yeah, she will like thumb through where certain flowers are poking through, and that like corresponds with certain spells. She doesn't. I'm not gonna give you the spell lists, like all of her spells, but she is like, gonna say like you were focused on more defensive kind of spells, right?
Uh, I mean, I would like to pick up something more defensive. Most of what I have is either utility or uh, hurting people, which is it's come in handy the couple of times I've needed it. So
Yeah. Uh, Let me see if I can pick some out for you then. And unfortunately, I think this is well, hold on, what's this? There's like some spells that she's going back and forward on. And then Wait a second. I'm looking through my spell list and I realized there's something that you didn't, Figgy. Well, it's okay, because we talked about this before. Okay, here's the thing. She's gonna be thumbing through some pages and she's gonna be going back and forth. Do you want to do some a perception to see what other spells she's not showing you?
Yay! Yes,
Okay,
please.
yeah, give me that, and I will add that to like spotted spells.
Perception.
This will be.
It's just literally a d20 because I don't. It's a 2, baby.
Oh, yeah, no.
This is a fucking blind.
Just the 2. Just yeah, she's
We can make it if
we can make it if we
just the 2 of us. And
I was gonna add a little funnies. None, no spells, none spells. Level 1, and then level 2. So the pages that she will pick out, and you will basically put like temporary bookmarks in, so you can flick to them. These spells, which I'll read out: Absorb Elements, Mage Armor, Shield for level 1. Level 2 is Blindness and Hold Person, and Sphinius has spotted no other spells.
Yeah.
She has more. You can see there are more, but she is avoiding showing them.
Again, Phineas is like, there is a trust, and this is how much trust they have, and that's fine. I have given more trust, and maybe it'll pay off, maybe it won't. It does not matter. He's going to buck that trend in himself. He's not going to be like other wizards. Not that he's saying that you're like other wizards, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, Phineas already has Mage Armor, so he can't really learn that one. But the other ones are actually very interesting for him because he does not have shields. Absorb Elements. It's not a spell that I particularly like as Jade. I'm also looking at that Hold Person. That's a more tactical spell, but also that's a very good one. Phineas will pick Phineas in my brain was like, you're picking Hold Person.
I saw that's like that's probably the crowding one, honestly, Hold Person.
And my brain immediately went like, oh, we're locking the layer. Phineas looks at the Hold Person one and looks at all the flowers and specifically that the flowers that may be on this page. Can I actually roll the nature check? I'd like to see if Phineas can recognize any of them. They're probably all Toonish in nature, but
yeah, I couldn't give you any sort of specific like flower names either. No, but I can give you some sort of vibes and connotations and like yeah. If you roll nature, I can give you some stuff.
Because Phineas would be curious. That's a 16, and he just mainly asks like, what made you choose a specific flower for the spell? You know what I'm asking.
It's just kind of there.
Was it there when you learned it?
It's no, I don't know. I just weaving flowers, and you can see some of the flowers are actually like braided together, like making chains and stuff. It's just
honestly, and he flicks through the other spells that he's been allowed through to fake, and he's just like, it's a really clever way of interpreting like the actual magical notations in of itself. I do like what you've done here, even if I don't understand some of it.
Do I sometimes? It's just it's just what I do to learn. And yeah, with like that nature check, you can kind of tell that the flowers are braided, and the flowers are ones that you can just see that they have sort of like sturdy stalks, even in their sort of dried, flattened states, like almost like thistles and stuff. like sort of roadweed flowers. Haha, roadweeds. And just there's no real other sort of there's no real like connotation that you can gain from what the flowers themselves represent. Not on this page anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's just more of their properties and some of the you can see on one page that the sort of head of the flower where the seeds sit kind of like almost how there's those type of flowers like daisies and sunflowers where they have a very big sort of like center where the seeds sit. Yeah. She's like copied down the ways that the seeds are like laid out in a pattern, and the thing of how flowers or sunflowers arrange their seeds in the Fibonacci sequence.
Yes.
Or it's like more sort of like flower math kind of stuff, just like understanding notation and that's mostly what the flowers are doing.
That's cool as fuck. Phineas will point towards the spell hold person and say, I think I'll pick this one.
Alright. And just go through like, okay, these are the somatic. Well, let me check through it myself to see what it is actually doing. It is verbal, somatic, and material. And it's a funny thing that the material aspect is a small straight piece of iron. I wonder what her gimmick is. So yes, so she will talk about sort of her somatic sort of force behind it, which is all about anchoring herself, and all about sort of I guess it's not quite chaining, but I see it more as how do I say this? It's just internal locking is how I usually think about it.
My brain went to hog tying. No.
Yeah. She is absolutely dancing around some words, some on purpose, some she doesn't even know that she's dancing around. I think it is unfortunately a very slow process of how she tries to explain her spell methodology.
It's alright. Phineas is patient, if anything.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's similar to that kind of stuff. It's her way of describing her process is very cut and dry. Like if she could, she would just describe it as like, I think of them stuffing, and then it does. Even though there's absolutely way more thought that she has put into it, she just doesn't know how to surface it.
Yeah. Phineas will try to copy down as literal as possible, as he can onto his spellbook before doing anything else. And then you see him like through multiple pages try to make sense of the notation himself, by putting it down in his own terms. And you see like there's some stuff in there that's just like, that's not gonna fucking work. It takes a bit. Okay, I think I'm ready to try it. I don't want to use you as a test subject.
There are some things whips up outside that are supposed to be humanoid anchors. I think I heard somebody say.
Perfect. Would you like to step outside real quickly?
Yes. Yeah. Let me see if I can pull up my thingies because I have stats for like I described. They're basically just dummies.
Yeah.
Some of them are standing outside. People are shooting at them with like range spells. And they have like little like necklaces that just kind of show like hi, my name is blank, and I'm a this kind of description. Like I'm a mage. I'm a sort of common person because you know how different peoples have different connections to the weave.
Yeah.
And that can sort of see how that spell sort of affects, and it's just basically what's in reality is different kinds of warding spells on them.
Yeah.
To see if the spell bounces back or not. So do you want to go for a low one or a medium one?
Oh, I'm going for
If
a
there's
high
any high
one.
ones around.
Phineas is going for a high one.
Oh, okay. Let's materialize a fucking high one then. I'm sure that's the best way to test out.
Yeah, what else? Is
Uh,
how else? How else are you supposed to test stuff if you're not going for
yeah.
the
How else you gonna
best?
do this? Well,
Phineas is nothing if
it's a
not
save that they
cocky.
have to do. Listen, save. Okay. Yeah. So let's give this guy then a +6. Yeah, let's do a +6. That's for a save.
All right. So Phineas stands outside, and as they walk out.
Oh wait,
Oh,
you should do a spell casting or Arcana check to see if you can actually get the spell to lock.
yes. I will say that as he's standing, as they're walking outside, Phineas will say, "Don't think I haven't forgotten. You still need to find my dagger."
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I'll get to that.
And I will roll Arcana. He's not going to try to use up his thing, so he's going to roll at disadvantage. A 7. I'm going to roll twice. Hold on.
Alright, this is against my spell save DC.
Yeah. Well, it's 13.
Yeah, that doesn't save. Roll that D100.
Yeah, let's roll a D100. That's a 6.
Nothing happens. It's a normal miss.
You see Phineas like attempt what he was trying to do, and then he does it, and then there's no response from the mage. And it's just like he does it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and he's just like, why isn't it working?
Whoa! Slow down! Slow down! Come on. Listen. You're not gonna get it to stop if you're just waving it like a baton. You gotta have authority behind that wave. Oh, stance. And she like gets into position and holds out her own wand.
Phineas will match it.
Yeah. Listen, I know you have your own idea of how to command attention. We all do. I want you to focus on that, okay? I need you to be serious with the thing that you're focusing on.
You're asking the
Could be
fucking
an enemy,
wizard
could be
to
a
be serious.
Does he give a look that says that?
A little bit.
Yeah. Listen. It could be an enemy, could be a loved one. Sometimes you just gotta command the attention of someone. Just gotta get them stuck. You want to focus, you want to connect. You're talking to me about connecting? Now's the time.
Fine, we do this your way then. And I will try one more time. This time, I will use a spell slot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that does it.
That's a 19.
Yeah.
And Phineas matches the pose that Bo does, and like this, the same waving and motions that Bo does. And while it is similar, to how Bo might have casted it when explained. The end, I think, does end a little bit by literally having the little lock layer button pop up and then just tap it. But he does the same commanding. He does have that commanding presence, and you see the. And now I think that the guy has to roll, right?
Yeah.
Zami has to roll, so feel free to roll.
Yeah. 1 slash, I said D20 plus 6. What's your DC for spell saves?
15.
15.
No!
No fucking way! That's a nat 1 plus 6!
How do the dummies respond whenever the spell actually does land? Is there like a little green? Like...
I think it's a red. Well, I think it's a amber green. Amber means the spell hit but they saved, and then green is it hit and it's like, does its main effect.
Hey, that worked.
There you go.
Phineas reaches into his spellbook and changes a couple of things about the notation. It's
time to get serious, funny man.
Oh man, you're making him the straight man. How could you?
I need you to have variety. Well, yeah, this is the straight man infecting you, unfortunately. But also, sometimes you gotta have that variation of serious to then funnies. You know?
There is a lesson to be learned here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether Phineas learns it or not, that's another point. With that, Phineas will finish the notation, and I think Phineas has done it.
He has the spell. He has a lot, so he just needs to finalize his final wording. But that's him. Bo has to fucking find his dagger.
Yep.
Okay. Just 2 spell slots in. Whiffed it both times. Gotta be a 15. She's gonna, just... Do you want to continue practicing the spell, or do you want to head back inside?
I think we need to see some success from you first.
Yeah, sure. And she will brandish her wand again, sort of relax herself, gently, slowly, rock her head side to side. And we'll try and do the sort of a similar, again, trying to mimic Phineas's gestures as to find this. All right. Do shits. Oh no.
I think Phineas, as they do this, just now remember, you have to let it guide you there. You can't force it.
Okay. It's a 23.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that beats it.
Damn.
And that just means the spell hits, because it's not a save or anything.
Yeah, it just pings. I wonder what this feels like for her. I'm trying to think, because what she was doing before was trying to manipulate memory, almost try and pull on deja vu, which is kind of, pulling on some sort of ideas of divination magic. You already know it's there in your soul. You just have to make it come true. I guess it's more of a trustful, like what Phineas is saying, let it guide you.
Mm-hmm.
So it almost looks like she's forgetting how to walk. She has a very weird thought cycle where she's leaning a bunch of forwards, very, very much forward, but then catches herself, and then her steps sort of, balance out. It looks more normal, and she just has the sort of rod as she tries to follow. There, let it guide her. I know what it is. The item is reeling her in. because because the blowback that she was getting was her striking the weave too hard. Like, you know how you whip a rope,
Yeah.
and yeah, she was trying to, you know, enforce her will onto it, and it sort of bounces back. But now she's letting the item pull her in.
And you, I will say, Bo eventually finds the item has been tugged inside of a seat cushion, or like underneath a seat cushion.
I see. Just yeah, grabs it, finds Phineas again, and hands it back, handle first towards him. Here you go.
That was a successful casting.
Indeed, it was.
You know, I gotta admit, um, it's kind of interesting seeing how other folks interpret your spells.
Yeah, yeah, different perspective on it. Get you to think it through some more.
Not that this only happens quarterly. Um,
Yeah.
I would not be remiss if I didn't say that I did enjoy myself today, and I do happen to have something for you. And what Phineas was doing earlier was taking out his what is it called? Uh, marvelous pigments, and
Mm-hmm.
he drew in midair really quickly a flower that he's familiar with, a real kind flower. Uh, and uh, he he specifically drew a moss rose. Huh?
Wait, do I think I know the moss rose. Oh no, it's not this. Okay, it's a different flower. Oh, this is so cool though.
Yeah. And he hands it to them. Is Bo she, her, or they, them?
She, her, yeah.
She, her. Okay. I'm sorry. As you know, I've noticed I've been specifically using they, them because I couldn't remember it. And I know every single time you mentioned it, I blanked out. Yeah, she hands it to her.
It's fine.
He hands it to her. It's a picture of the moss rose. It's whichever color you prefer.
Oh, I see. Me trying to steer away from my own favorite color. Okay, Bo, what's your pick your favorite color before I decide? um, yeah, she probably honestly just like a sort of whitish yellow one.
Yeah. And he hands it to her.
Oh, oh well, that's very sweet of you. I hmm.
I thought since you're learning
She
new
like
spells,
looks at oh
you might need a new flower.
sorry. That is fair. I, yeah. He like looks it over, thinks about it, and just like there's like a smile with a little tilt of the head of like, huh, yeah. And then she like tucks it in. I think she tucks it into like an inside pocket, like gently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, thank you for that.
Now, if you ever do wish to discuss any more wizardry, mumbo jumbo, and all that, like, um, find the Sunset Saloon. I live right above it.
Mm-hmm. I will. I'll keep that in mind. She like looks around the building a bit. I think people usually tend to stick around after this, after they finish rendezvous with the respective wizards. They tend to, you know how wizards be. They like to poke fun at anybody else who casts magic. But unfortunately, I gotta go myself. So.
I might stay back and practice a little more on those test dummies. But thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What's your last name again?
No last name. You could just call me Deputy or Dep.
Thank you, Deputy.
No problem. I'll see you around, Phineas.
And he will extend out a hand to shake.
Yeah, she'll take and shake it.
And then he walks past her. Oh, and before he leaves, you see Scrunkly on the table, looks upward towards you, and hands you a blueberry.
Thank you, my dear.
And you see Scrunkly follows after Phineas.
Nice.
I think that's the end.
I think that's game.
That was
I
cute.
think that's game. That was nice. That was really
nice.
fun.
I love the idea of straight man, funny man.
There's a tune and a real kind. Who's the straight man and who's the funny man? It's not what you think.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Thank you, anybody who's listening. Thank you, anybody who will listen in the future and is listening right now. Thank you, Joe, specifically. I know who you are. I see you every night. I will see you tonight. Dreams. And thank you, Liz. You're a wonderful player.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Thank you for fucking cornering me into doing this.
It's been a bit. I've been meaning to. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.